sure everything goes safe. As long as we don't get no complaints, we good.
No more questions.
Defense?
Okay, Mr. Charles. After the department has done some investigation with Matthew Bruno, it is correct that he was still on probation, correct?
Yes, you will.
Okay, so a probationary period, for those who may not be familiar, is an agreement between the employee and the employer to you have a period of which we can fire you under any means without explanation. Okay. After we have looked, Mr. Bruno has a open case from 2007 where he is on probation still from a very heinous crime. He was charged with attempted robbery and sentenced to 4 years imprisonment and 2 years probation as well. Upon us hiring him, it's when we found out about the situation. Therefore, this is where the firing came from. Nothing to do with the sexual harassment case. We had every grounds and means to fire him after investigating his background thoroughly. Probationary period allows us to do that. That's why we have that for the department, to cover ourselves in situations like this. Unfortunately, Mr. Bruno was the victim of whatever crime took place, but we asked the fire department to stand on the grounds of his probationary period being still active. Therefore, we terminated him on those terms. Nothing to do with the sexual harassment. Also, he filed this complaint in September of 2013 after working for...
Where's the questions for the witness? She's making a statement.
I'm getting there. I just want to make sure that he knows what we know, so everyone's on the same page.
Objection sustained, and I will allow some leeway with that.
Okay.
Just move it along.
Okay. So, do you, on the day that Mr. Bruno was fired, you said there was maybe a little bit of tension of the way that he was acting?
I mean, yeah, like I said, we're going through changes. I guess, as far as I know, I mean, that's...
Anyone with a lot of those like this would come with some changes or whatever.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. As a representative of the fire department, would you say you all come across these situations often, or is this like very...
I mean, it's not a constant thing you hear about things. I mean, you slip up, you be in a conversation that you're not really supposed to be as.
Okay, so the fire department is pretty much, mild on violence against each other and others, because we're here to protect each other.
Yes, we are.
Protect
We're a family.
Okay.
We all right. Take a check.
Okay, no further questions, Sean.
Okay. Closing arguments from prosecution. I may have some questions for you.
Okay. We all know that in certain organizations that there's what they call hazing, or the rookie has to do certain things to earn his way into the family. But where this goes wrong, in my opinion, is when it's unwanted and it's made notice that it is unwanted, then it should stop. Especially when it comes to anything sexual. We do understand he was in his probationary period, but he was there several months. The background check should take several months to come back for them to come up with a decision that they no longer want him there. So after several months, the background check should have already been back, which should not have been an issue at this time. Also, there was other cases brought forth with the 16-year-old who was there, who volunteered, who also has a lawsuit pending. So with everything that we know as far as with his father, them supposedly wanting him out, the hating of his father, and caucuses in the car, and all of the other incidents that occurred before and after this, after my client won his lawsuit, it's plain to see that his termination was contributed to the fact of the lawsuit that was won by my client. So it's plain to see that that's the reason why. All this other probationary period thing, it really don't make any sense to me. So I feel that we have proven our case, and that will conclude my closing statement.
Closing argument from defense.
Well, today we have spoken on the Matthew Bruno case on the terms of his termination with the fire department. The state leans towards the terms of the sexual harassment being the reason for us firing him. Our background check is nationwide. It does take a minute for it to come back. That's not a 24-hour process, 48 hours even. We stand very firm on the men that we hire to defend our city. So therefore, we do extensive background checks. Takes a little longer, but it does the job. That's where we came to our conclusion. Unfortunately, Mr. Bruno may have felt violated in his situation with his department. We as the fire department feel sorry for what he has had to endure, you know, as far as what he dealt with physically. But we have had to terminate him on the grounds of just his personal background, strictly not dealing with the sexual harassment case. We hope that you find the clarity in the case that we have provided here today and make a sound decision. Thank you.
Okay. Now, being a supervisor in the department, when the background check did come back, why wasn't he terminated at that point?
He wasn't doing anything. I mean, he was still working. He just got it. He was a good kid. He wasn't no bad kid. Why just fire him for no reason? I mean, that's a paperwork reason, but come on now, you gotta give people a chance to do something besides riding in the car.
But the whole background check, in my experience, the background check of robbery or burglary would be grounds for not being hired in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, does every felon have to go through that? He might have just did it. He might have just young at the time.
Unfortunately, all felons do have to go through that. Now, my next question, when he applied, did he mention that he was
It was
on
on his
probation?
application. He didn't hide it. He was on probation.
But, I mean, did he hide it on the application for being a firefighter?
Nah, he didn't have it on the application that I seen.
Okay.
I wasn't the one that hired him though.
Okay, you may step down.
I mean, I know it's supposed to be walked off, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, yeah.
Now, while the jury deliberates, this court will be in recess. I urge you not to discuss this case with anybody. And when the jury comes back to their verdict, we will notify you. This court is in recess.
All rise.
Mr. Lee Fawcett, I want you to record your